What's good, slimes? Ace Ravens back with a fragrance related video. Today I'll be discussing one of my favorite perfumes ever. Is gonna be a biased video, probably, or not really. We'll see how it goes. Of Mancera's Royal Vanilla. This was a blind buy. I was really liking my Mancera purchases at the time, and vanilla is top 3 fragrance notes for obvious reasons. So this was a blind buy. I didn't even look at the notes. I just saw Royal Vanilla Mancera. That ticked enough boxes for me to spend my hard-earned money on this. Now, believe it or not, this has notes of rose water, rose petals, generic rose, citrus, caramel, vanilla, amber, and musk. You may be thinking your mind just stopped working, and it kind of did. To be blunt, it's a very nice vanilla scent. It is unisex, but needs a bit more feminine, to be honest. The best way to describe this, if you've ever smelled a vanilla in any Mancera fragrance, this is the same vanilla, with kind of a more floral aspect with the rose water. So think about it, it's a nice vanilla scent with like the subtleness of rose water. It's like that translucent effect of roses in a vanilla scent. It's unique while not being unique, you know? It's a vanilla with rose. I'm sure you smelled that before, but the way this is done is very nice. I like it a lot. The best way to describe, when I think of this, smelling it from the fragrance strip, this has been like life-changing, to be honest. I don't have to find like space on my skin to wear fragrances when I do these reviews. I know you're not supposed to like talk about heaven and hell and all of that stuff, but there's like, whenever I smell this, I think of like a Simpsons episode where they're in heaven and it's all clean, shiny, airy. You know, it's like if heaven was a scent of vanilla, it would be this. Just a nice calming rose water with a strong vanilla base. And the rose in here, it is more rose water. At the start it is a bit jammy, but no, the vanilla does come across, the best way to describe it is airy. If any of you tried like any of those like fairy cakes, those fancy cakes, it's sweet but not, you know, filling. You know, it's like you can tell the vanilla is being kind of it's not as strong as it could be, which is great. And it's like it complements the rose very well. To be blunt, this doesn't change much from the opening to the end. And the musk does give it a kind of a smooth undertone. Very smooth. Think about like, it's literally just a heavenly vanilla with rose, which is done smooth. It's 100% unisex. This does not lead masculine at all. It does lead a bit more feminine, in the sense that, it does just come across a bit more feminine. There's like an effervescent to this. Like there's a sparkling element of the rose in here. It is a very gorgeous vanilla. I remember I blind bought a decant of a vanilla exclusive from Mancera. Absolute garbage. Like I was so glad I bought this instead of vanilla exclusive. I think it's vanilla exclusive, I have no idea. That was pure garbage. But no, I'm very happy with this purchase. It is a crowd pleaser, but the main stars in this is just rose water and like a very like airy sweet vanilla. The reason I say rose water is because rose is different from rose petals. Rose water is a bit more watery, who would have believed it or not. No, I like this scent a lot. I've worn it every situation I could. Even for a vanilla scent, it's very much a signature scent. I've worn this to work and nights out. Believe it or not, I wore this to see the latest Avatar film. Not the Zuko stuff one, the blue people doing nonsense, you know, film. I felt like it was very good for all of my occasions, wearing it to work, that event, and so forth. This is a 120 ml bottle. I've used a decent amount of it, so I could give this review. I like it a lot. I think it's worth the money, worth the blind buy. I think at one point this was an exclusive, but in the world of the in the age of the World Wide Web, it doesn't make a difference anymore, does it? No, if you like vanillas, you'll love this. Absolutely. It's not gonna be groundbreaking, but it's gonna be enough for you to be like, it's a good scent. I would give this easily 8 out of 10. No, that's a bit harsh. 7.5 out of 10. I'm keeping this in my collection. I wore it on all occasions. The only time this would not be good is summer days. I think it's a bit too sweet. I don't think the rose water can save it too much. But no, it's just a very nice, you would have guessed it, royal vanilla. A nice vanilla with rose water. Can't go wrong. Can you go right? Absolutely with this. If any of you has smelled Roses Vanille by Mancera, I think this is a better version of that. Yeah, it's 100%. It's a more upscale. If that's like a Super Saiyan, this is like SSJ2. You know what I mean? 100% better. I actually sold my Roses Vanille because of this scent. No, I like it a lot, and this thing lasts like 12 hours. You know, I don't find it projects too much. I think it projects the perfect amount, which is like half a foot. But that's just been my take on Royal Vanilla. I think it's worth it. Absolutely, at least getting a 10 ml decant of it. But if you like vanilla, I'd recommend you check it out. Absolutely. If you're not a massive fan of vanilla or rose, I don't think this is enough to change your opinion, because it kind of takes the genericness of rose and vanilla and makes it as like mass appealing as possible. You know? But that's been Ace Fragrance, guys. I think this is a banger. I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.